Imagine a world where ordinary people can become immortal gods, where a crutch can turn into a boat, a flute can calm raging waves, and a simple lotus flower can carry someone across an endless ocean. This is the world of the Eight Immortals, China's most beloved and colorful group of legendary beings. Today, I'm going to tell you their most famous adventure, how they crossed the Eastern Sea, each revealing their divine powers. A story so iconic that it gave birth to one of China's most popular sayings. The Eight Immortals cross the sea, each shows their magical abilities. Let's meet them first. The Eight Immortals are deeply rooted in Daoist philosophy. They represent the belief that immortality can be achieved not just by the powerful, but by people from all walks of life, through kindness, wisdom, and spiritual practice. First, there's He Xianggu, the only woman among the eight. A beautiful immortal who carries a magical lotus flower that symbolizes purity. Legend says she ate a supernatural peach and floated up to heaven. Next, Liu Dongbin, the handsome swordsman. He carries a priceless flying sword that can slay demons and cut through anything. He's the leader of the group and famous for his wisdom and charm. Then there's Iron Crutch Li, the most recognizable. He looks like a beggar with a crippled leg and an iron crutch, but inside his gourd is a powerful elixir that can heal or destroy. Don't judge by appearances, he's one of the strongest. Lan Kai-he, the most mysterious. Sometimes seen as a young man, sometimes as a woman, carrying a flower basket full of magical herbs that never wilt. They represent freedom and living outside society's rules. Zhang Guolao, the wise old man who rides his donkey backwards. He carries a fish drum made from bamboo that can predict the future when beaten. He's famous for his strange, playful wisdom. Han Xiangzi, the young musician and nephew of a great scholar. He plays a jade flute that can make flowers bloom instantly and calm wild animals. His music brings peace and joy. Cao Guozhou, a prince from the imperial family who gave up wealth for immortality. He holds a pair of jade castanets, symbols of nobility and authority that can purify evil. And finally, Zhong Li Tuan, the chubby, cheerful leader with a big belly. He waves a magical fan that can bring the dead back to life. He's often seen as the chief of the Eight Immortals. One day, the Eight Immortals were invited to the peach banquet held by the Queen Mother of the West in her heavenly palace on Mount Kunlun. Excited for the feast of immortal peaches that grant eternal youth, they set off on their journey. But on their way, they reached the vast Eastern Sea, endless waves stretching to the horizon. Liu Dongbin smiled and said, "Why take a boat like ordinary people? Let's each use our own magical treasure to cross the sea and see who has the best way." The others laughed and agreed. And so began one of the most joyful and magical moments in Chinese legend. First, Tie Guai Li threw his gourd into the water. It instantly grew huge and floated like a sturdy boat. He jumped on it with his crutch and sailed smoothly across the waves. Next, Liu Dongbin tossed his flying sword into the sea. It transformed into a shining bridge of light stretching all the way to the other shore. He walked across calmly, sword gleaming under the sun. He Xianggu gently placed her lotus flower on the water. It grew into a giant blooming lotus that floated perfectly. She stepped onto it gracefully and drifted across like a goddess on a cloud. Lan Kai-he scattered flowers from their basket. The petals formed a colorful path on the waves, and they danced across lightly, singing as they went. Zhang Guolao beat his fish drum and summoned his magical donkey. He rode it backwards, yes, backwards, and the donkey galloped across the water as if it were solid land. Han Xiangzi began playing his flute. The beautiful music calmed the angry waves, and they parted like curtains. He walked straight through the path of still water. Cao Guojiu clapped his jade castanets. A royal pathway of golden light appeared on the sea, and he walked across with the dignity of an emperor. Finally, Zhong Li Chuan waved his fan lazily. A gentle wind lifted him into the air, and he floated across the sea like he was lying on an invisible cloud. One by one, all 8 crossed the Eastern Sea safely, without a single boat. Each used their own unique treasure and ability. And that's why, even today in China, when people want to say, everyone has their own special talent, they use the famous saying, the 8 Immortals cross the sea, each revealing their divine powers. This story isn't just about magic. It's about celebrating individuality, creativity, and finding your own path in life. This famous idiom is still used today across China and beyond, reminding us that there's no single way to succeed. Everyone has their own unique strength to shine. Thank you for joining me on this magical journey through ancient Chinese legend. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more forgotten tales from China's rich mythology. Until then, may your own magical treasure guide you across whatever sea you face.